This committee wrestled on every issue.
Beginning with who's eligible. The committee recommends that for now, patients who want a doctor's help to die should be at least 18, but suggests looking at including younger people, so-called mature minors, eventually too.
The suffering of a 17-and-a-half-year-old versus an 18-year-old, what is the real difference? However, we also recognized, and we heard from witnesses, we're not quite ready yet.
The committee also recommends advanced consent, that a patient who has been diagnosed be allowed to agree now to have a doctor end their life later, even if they can't mentally or physically give that consent when they're ready to die. That even those who don't have a terminal disease should be allowed to have a doctor's help to die if they're experiencing enduring suffering. That applies to psychiatric illnesses too.
We are saying that in and of itself, mental illness, psychological suffering as well, does not bar someone from this procedure.
But there was some disagreement. 4 conservatives on the committee said the rest of the group went too far.
The most glaring example of this is that there are virtually no safeguards in place for persons with underlying mental health challenges.
The recommendations do say 2 independent doctors should assess whether a patient is eligible, including whether they have the capacity to consent. That assessment of consent can be tricky, says this psychiatrist.
I think it would be quite appropriate to have more specialized training and have people who understand the issues around consent for specifically mental illness. So it's doable, but I think you have to put the safeguards in.
As for the doctor's role, they will have a choice. The Supreme Court says they're not obligated to help a patient die if it goes against their personal beliefs. But do they have to send that patient to another doctor? The committee thinks they should, and that concerns this doctors group.
We don't feel that that policy will address the conscientious objection rights of all physicians.
We're going to thoroughly review this report.
Of course, these are just recommendations, not requirements. No hints from the Justice Minister about what she thinks of them.
It's too early to say what is going to be in the legislation.
But she acknowledged that those decisions will have to be made in the next few weeks, first in discussions with Cabinet and then for a vote in Parliament. That is, if she hopes to get the legislation passed by that Supreme Court imposed June 6th deadline.